Hello, and welcome back to the history that never was. Have you ever stopped to wonder if the history we've been taught is the only way things could have happened? What if one single event, one different decision, could have sent our world down a completely different path? We reject the idea that history is a settled story. Instead, we journey back to those critical turning points, those moments where destiny hung in the balance, to explore the alternate timelines that could have been. Today, we're doing something a little different. Instead of diving deep into one specific scenario, we're taking a look back at some of the biggest questions we've ever asked on this channel. Think of it as a highlight reel of averted disasters and empires, a showcase of the worlds we've explored together, all thanks to your incredible support. We've journeyed to timelines where some of humanity's greatest calamities were completely avoided, creating worlds that are almost unrecognizable, yet tantalizingly plausible. Our first stop takes us back to the 13th century. Imagine a world where Baghdad, the jewel of the medieval world, never fell to the Mongol hordes in 1258. Picture the legendary House of Wisdom, not as a ruin, but as a beacon of knowledge that continued to shine for centuries. In our exploration, we saw how saving this one city preserved an unimaginable wealth of science, philosophy, and art. The works of giants like Al-Kindi and Ibn Sina weren't lost and rediscovered, they formed an unbroken chain of progress. This wasn't just about saving books, it was about saving the momentum of human intellect. The ripple effect was astounding. An earlier renaissance, more advanced mathematics, and a world where the so-called Dark Ages were significantly brighter. It's a timeline where the intellectual center of the world remained in the East, fundamentally changing the balance of global power and culture. From the ancient world, we then jump to a moment many of us can still feel the echoes of: November 22, 1963. What if John F. Kennedy had survived that fateful day in Dallas? We painted a picture of a 1960s and 70s free from the shadows that defined the era. Without the trauma of the assassination, we envisioned a United States that followed a different path. A world where the escalating tragedy of the Vietnam War was averted, saving hundreds of thousands of lives and preventing a deep scar on the American psyche. Without the subsequent political turmoil, there would be no Watergate scandal to shatter public trust in government. Instead, we imagined a nation that carried the optimism of the early 60s forward, tackling civil rights and the space race with a unified spirit, led by a president who completed his vision. It is a powerful reminder of how the fate of one person can truly alter the destiny of millions. Next, we dared to redraw the map of an entire continent. What if the scramble for Africa in the late 19th century never happened? Imagine a world where European powers didn't meet in Berlin to carve up a continent with arbitrary lines on a map, lines that ignored ancient cultures, languages, and tribal lands. We explored a timeline where African nations developed organically, forming powerful, stable federations based on shared heritage and economic interests. Instead of decades of post-colonial conflict and instability, we saw the rise of African economic superpowers, rich in resources and innovation, competing on the global stage. It's a world where Wakanda isn't just a fantasy, but a reflection of what could have been a continent united, prosperous, and in control of its own destiny, a true testament to the potential that was disrupted. But we didn't just stop at averting disasters. We also explored worlds where empires that fell instead rose to even greater heights. What if Al-Andalus, the beacon of Islamic civilization in Spain, had never fallen in 1492? We journeyed to an Iberian peninsula where the rich blend of Muslim, Jewish, and Christian cultures continued to flourish. A world where the architectural marvels of Córdoba and Granada weren't relics, but part of a living, evolving society. This alternate Europe would have been a place of greater religious tolerance and scientific collaboration as the knowledge of Al-Andalus continued to flow northward, enriching the entire continent and fundamentally altering the course of European development. And what about the sick man of Europe, we asked? What if the Ottoman Empire, instead of collapsing after World War I, successfully reformed and modernized? We imagined a 20th century with a powerful, stable caliphate acting as a major player on the world stage. This alternate timeline saw a Middle East without the Sykes-Picot Agreement, meaning no artificial borders, and many of the conflicts that had plagued the region for a century could have been avoided. This reformed Ottoman state, a constitutional monarchy perhaps, could have been a stabilizing force, a bridge between East and West, with a rich cultural and political landscape that would have reshaped global politics entirely. It has a fascinating look at how the survival of one empire could have brought a different kind of peace and order to a turbulent world. Exploring these incredible worlds, from a scientifically advanced Baghdad to a powerful and united Africa, has been an amazing journey. Each What If has opened our eyes to new possibilities and deepened our understanding of the history we thought we knew. We've built a community of curious minds, of historical explorers who aren't afraid to ask big questions. And every single video, every deep dive, has been fueled by your passion and your support. And that brings me to why I'm talking to you today. We've come so far together, but we're on the cusp of our first major milestone as a channel. Our community is growing, and to keep creating content with the depth and quality you deserve, we need to take the next step. We are so incredibly close to reaching our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Reaching this number isn't just about a metric. It unlocks new tools for us on YouTube and shows that our community is strong and ready to grow. It tells us that you want more of these journeys into the history that never was. So, if you believe that knowledge is power, if you get excited about exploring the past's greatest turning points, and if you want to see us tackle even bigger what-ifs in the future, then I'm asking for your help right now. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's free, it takes 1 second, and it makes a huge difference for our channel. Help us cross that 1,000 subscriber line and make our community of historical explorers official. And if you're already subscribed, thank you. You can still help by sharing this video with a friend who you know loves history as much as we do. Your support is the fuel that powers this journey through time. Thank you for watching, and let's make history together.